bow it and let's get started. Arms forward. Remember, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Regulate your breathing through the whole workout. Don't hold your breath. You find yourself starting to pant. You should slow down a little bit so you can breathe consistently. Back. Opposite directions. Switch. Crossing. Hands up underneath the chin, small turns with your shoulders. The really small ones. Just relax that upper spine. You don't want to torque that out too much. Yep, staying forward. Okay, take a step out and swing your arms. Yourself up. Hands on the knees, forward and back. Forward circle back. Other direction. Leg out. Knee locked, ankle loose, make some circles. Draw the circle with your big toe. Other direction. Up and down. Toes. Other foot. Other direction. Up and down. Toes. Shake it out. Let's bring our knees left and right up. 1, relaxed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last set, last side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check that out a little bit. I like that exercise opposed to the leg swings. It prevents you from leaning. It works just opening up your hips. If you're wondering why I put my hand out there, it's to keep that spine straight. Okay, behind you, make sure you don't kick anything. Stiff-legged. We'll go left to right. Okay, here we go. Stiff swinging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sweep the hips around, and we're going to do 2 more sets of those. Just make sure that we don't lean forward and stay lean. So come back to center every time. 1, 2, 3, there you go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, move around, shake it out a little bit. In place. Let's move up to the shoulders and the upper arms. So step back to your right both stance and shift out to about 60 to 70% of your weight forward with the toes slightly toward the big toe. So if you look straight down, you should be able to see your toe, but not your ankle. This is too far back. We want to be kind of rooted in this place. So how I think about this is that I want to take the ball of that foot and I want to think about pushing off with it, right? Pushing off so I can throw a kick or whatever, not just kind of flat-footed where I can't move. A lot of times when we get grounded, if we don't know our slide stepping or our cat walking, we have a tendency to literally get too grounded, okay? So we're going to take this position, and what we did yesterday was just really basic class on kicks. It was actually a really good class. I found out that I have more weight on this side of my foot, on my right foot, and I'm more flat on my left, which is how you should be. So I learned something after all these years doing a basic class yesterday, that I'm rolling my foot a little bit, and I've compensated. So in this position here, I was thinking about that earlier this morning, and if you're not flexible in the calf area, that's an automatic response. Okay, so I want to make sure that you guys are taking the ball of your foot and finding that position and then pushing that into the ground at a slight angle. So how we'll do this before we do the arm swings is to make sure you have it. The heel's going to come up, the knee's going to go forward. Right? Not the hips and the shoulders up. I'm not doing this. Just my knees moving. And to do that, you have to push the ball of the foot into the ground and the hip that direction. Okay? So if you can imagine just kind of coming towards your center line. Okay, so straighten yourself up. We'll go ahead and put our hands up for this one. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. And now you're going to switch your stance, put the heel down, and just switch it back. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. And you can compare the two sides and see if you learn something. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And down. Okay, and shake it out a little bit. Okay, so usually when I learn something during a workout, it doesn't get fixed until the next workout. And if I forget that I did it, then it has to come back and remind me again. So you guys are fixing the thing that I learned yesterday. How do you like that? Okay, go back to the right bow stance. And this time just find yourself into it. And we're just going to do our loosen up the shoulders with our long arm motions. So come right down the center line, right down. Just, if you can see yourself, you should really try to move the shoulders a little bit to get that swing. In this exercise, it's okay to move the shoulders. We're not keeping them squared. We'll do that in a second, but right now we're just loosening up like you're swimming. Now, put the 3 fingers, the pinky and up, the last 3 fingers in your hand, really tighten up like you're coming down and hitting something with that part of your hands. As you start going quicker, you can start squaring up your shoulders. But I really want to open them up. Okay, now I'm going a little bit quicker, so I'm going to keep my shoulders more squared toward the camera or toward my opponent or towards you. And your fists are tight, but your arms are loose. Weight forward on that forward leg. You start to feel like your hips are kind of starting to sway. Slow down. You need more strength, put a weight in your hand. Okay, on this version, all we're going to do is we're going to step up and switch stances, but I want the hands to continue to flow. And then you find your balance, but your hands are just a windmill. They're just going. No matter what stance we go to, our hands are just going to continue at this speed until they get really, really heavy. And you can switch your stance a little bit. And then when you switch your stance, your hands adjust. Do they go faster or slower? Mainly focus on that fist. If it's starting to open up, it's no longer a long arm, it's just a stretching routine. Switch. It's a good shoulder workout. 1,000's a good number to start with. Okay, switch. Sounds bigger than it is. We've already probably done 150 to 200 of them. And if you count fives, you're already at the 1,000. Step up. Now let's go a little bit quicker. Reach up, big circles. Then you can switch your stance. Your stance has to be stable, but it doesn't have to be low. Not too low. And switch that stance. And now we're going to do a half a step forward. And a half a step back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Switch your stance. Forward. Back. Forward. Fist tight. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. And slow it down. Shake it out a little bit. Shoulders should just start to feel it. You can do that up to 5 or 6 or 7 minutes without feeling it in your shoulders. Add a 1 pound weight to your hand or something if you don't have any elbow problems, because you'll be out here all day doing arm swings. It's kind of not a very good return on investment. Down is fine. Now we got to go up. So go back to a left. Find your position. Maybe lift that up a little bit. Lift it. Okay, and we're going to go. Shoulders can turn. Up. Turn. And they're actually more allowed to turn on the upward ones than the downward ones, but since we're just exercising right now, just stretch it way out. Hand me your fist. Right through the camera. And then right up to the ceiling. Right up your center line. That's your belly button, zipper right up to the top of your nose and then past. As you start going a little bit quicker, your shoulders can start to stay a little bit more squared. I allow my shoulders a little bit more freedom on the upward motions. You can go ahead and switch your stance, but keep your hands moving, please. Think a circle. Don't think about hitting your opponent or you'll shortcut the backward circle, which you're going to do anyways because of the way our shoulders are designed. Switch your stance. Switch. 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 Half a step forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Switch your stance. Half a step forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. And relax. Okay, we'll do some side to side here. We'll add a pivot to that. So we'll be in a right bow stance and just pivoting to our left. Shake it. Shrug the shoulders. Move. Okay, let's go my right leg forward. We'll start with downward motions. Okay, so then on the way, on the pivot, I'll just say turn. I'm going that direction, so I ideally want to turn when my backhand is on the way up, so it can hit on the way up. I don't want it to be somewhere here and then me turning because the the lines won't be right. So if I'm turning this direction, when my circling forward hand gets to that line or past it, I want the turn to come around, and then it goes this direction. And that way you don't create these motions where you're hacking sideways. Okay, so let's go forward. Good tight fist. And I'm just going to say turn. Now the focal point becomes the left hand, if you like, on the turn. 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 Pivot. 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 Reverse the hands up. Pivot. 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 And one more pivot. And shake it out. Okay, let's go to side to side butterfly punches. Sweep it to a horse. And it doesn't have to be 2 fist distance in a thumb horse. Find the position in your hips, or wherever you're at, you're training, that you can turn to one side to get the hidden distance in there for our punches without allowing your bracing side, in this case that's my right side, not to let the energy go that way. To get I'm losing the distance, right? Okay, so 1 foot turns, and it should be toes straight toward my other toes. This knee can be bent, locked out, the heel can be off the ground. It really just depends on, the technique and the application. But the structure is the same. Hips square toward that wall, shoulders square toward that one, nose toward my opponent, punch out there. So when I come back to the other side, my foot that's up is going to draw back with the hand, then it's going to anchor me, and then I'm going to send this punch out. Bang. Pull it back, send this punch out. It's like my hip, my heel, my knee, it's all connected on one side for greater power. And of course we're doing butterfly punches, so we're going to get training out here. We're going to put the hands way out. So here we go. 1 motion. Stop right here and adjust. If you see that your toes are starting to go out here, because we're doing repetition, and the repetition is actually doing more harm than good. 2, 3, 4, shoulder work, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I want you to put your hands on your hips, then adjust your stance so that you're squared up, and we're going to take, see my left elbow is forward, so it doesn't matter which one it is, so I'm going to take my right, and I'm going to pull back my hip and push forward my hip and get that point. So if I were to release my hands and go straight up, I'm in that position. Okay, but I'm just going to kind of isolate a little bit here. Pull the hip back, push the other one forward. Think about maybe elbow blocking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and your nose should be toward me, guys. You start looking this way, and actually I want this way. I know it's hard because you just want to start doing this. Okay, so keep your nose almost toward me. Ready? 1, There you go. Looking at me out of your right eye. 2, or maybe it's your left. 3, just the hips. 4, stay centered. There you go. 5, nice and even easier. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands up. 1, 2, look right down toward me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, so in class we have different exercises to develop different things, like the shoulders and stuff. Sometimes we don't explain it, people have some misconceptions. So keeping your elbows up and pulling them across in class usually is to work on people's shoulders if they're not very strong. Okay, so dropping your arms, it can come all the way low and then come up, or it can come straight. But if you drop your elbows and keep your fists in line, then you end up in this position for a quarter of a second, and then you're back out. The reason we don't do that in class so much, if you're wondering why I'm always yelling at your elbows stay high, is because most people start to do this, because we're so used to this, and they swing their arms up. And I guess it looks more like a butterfly than what we're doing, but it's really not what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to really focus, put one hand out, and I want to really focus on drawing the elbow up and in. Okay, so I want to be covered, and then I want that punch to come in. Covered, and then I want the punch comes in. Okay, the second thing that happens on this one is you turn too soon and then you do a back fist. It's not what I'm asking you to do, so let's really focus on that. So I imagine this hand kind of a pulley. When I pull this hand back, that hand goes, and then I make my adjustment. So you're not going to go slow on this one, you're going to put a little snap to it, and you're going to correct the next one if you make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to just let the hands down, and we're going to pivot, and we're going to swing it straight up. Okay, so it goes center line, up. And on this one, I was always taught to kind of keep them even. If you are built with the way I used to be built, with tight shoulders and tight chest and tight back and tight body and tight arms, when you try to do that, if you look what's happening back here, when I try to do that I'm crunching up those small vertebrae. Not a good idea. Okay, so if you don't have the ability to wing at the shoulders, you're going to do some damage. This arm should actually be a little bit lower so that this neck doesn't take any abuse. Okay, so you know where you're at, so be careful here. So here we go. I'm going to down. My back arm is not as high as my forward arm. 2, if you want to do that, just make sure you don't feel anything in your neck. 3, unless you just like chiropractors. 4, 5, reach. 6, right out and then up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And drop the hands, keep the body straight. Okay, so remember this exercise, it's the same thing. So we're going to do the same thing, make sure we're not developing repetitive habits that are wrong. 1, pull. 2, pull. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, leave your hands with the arm. We'll do the hooking one now because we've gone out, we've come up, now we'll go across. Same, everything's the same on this one. the hand that's punching or striking, or maybe even walking, it's going to be a little bit lower. Okay, so it's not going to be crunched up here. It's going to be here. It has to get there sometime. Right where you would have the impact point, it retracts in. Okay, so right at the impact point, it hooks in. Okay, so no hyperextension allowed on this one. So set up in your position, hook your punch. 1, out and in. 2, stretch it up. 3, 4, keep looking toward me or down your elbow. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, fists are tight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And shake it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we'll go, let's see, we've gone out, up, across, let's go down. Okay, so take the, we'll pivot, I'm pivoting to my right, so my left arm is going to be down. There's going to be a slight hook in it, and it's not a backhand, it's just coming straight down until it usually hits my hip flexor right there, bang. Then the hand comes up again, the pivot, down, up, turn, down, 1, 2, 3, you could use a sandbag, 4, right here, 5, right here, 6, 7, if your technique is perfect, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, adjust that stance, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, same thing with arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift the heel up if you have to. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And shake it out. A lot of times as students we go up through the ranks, we will look at higher belts, higher students, instructors, and we try to do what they do even if they tell you not to, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Nobody wants to be a hypocrite. But the fact is that if we are not ready for a certain movement, and we don't train our body to be ready, and we skip it, we will get stronger, but we'll get stronger at an inappropriate angle. So if I saw my instructor and his heel was always down, and I'm so tight that I can't do that, I'll have to adjust somewhere else in the body or break. If I adjust somewhere else, I may be making a worse mistake than if I lift the heel. Okay, so always monitor yourself and see if you are skipping a stage to get to the in place. In combat, we can argue that that might be a good thing, but in training, we know we don't have to argue. We know that doing a repetitive motion over and over again incorrectly is not going to make it correct all of a sudden. We have to do something upstairs. Okay, so here's a good training for you. If you're tight in the hips, because this is all about hips and shoulders today, rotate that back leg, in my case it's the left, by lifting the heel and taking it all the way down, and then straight down straight back up, and then turn. So imagine a pull through the head, through your center of your body, into the ground. So we can't be swerving all over. So turn, drop, back up, and obviously if I need to go deeper, I have to go wider in my stance. So turn, drop, and lift, and feel where you feel this, okay? So put the hands here. 1, down, and up. Other direction. 2, back to center. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and shake it out a little bit. So I like to always be conscious when I'm training of when I'm moving up and down and when I'm going forward. Sometimes, like with long arms, sometimes we do all of them at one time, right? And we have to, but if we're not conscious of when those are broken down and stuff, especially with fully committed training like long arm, we can end up throwing a muscle or a disc out because we throw a motion from a position that our body isn't trained from or does it because of the speed of the technique. So this one is a good reminder of down instead of all motions. So for me to go straight down, any further motion than this for today, I have to push that, and it's okay to do that, but I want to be conscious that I'm doing it. So I'm working on just that motion. So we've gone out, we have gone up, we've come across, we've come down, so let's go up this time. This one has a few variations, as you all know. It can be a short one, okay, or it can be a long one. I'm going long, so it's about a 45-degree angle, and it's a up. I don't push at the end. I don't hyperextend. It just sort of hits up. Okay, so here we go. Adjust your stance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we've gone up, down. Let's go across. No, let's go down to the sides. So hands in front, up. Again, same hook. It's really the same one as this one going down. To the side and then back. So it goes 1, bang, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one could have a pivot too. 7, by the way. 8. This is just training. 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this might come this direction. Bang, bang, or even that direction, right? Boom, bang. So we'll go, so we just worked on this, and let's go ahead and go across and back. So if my right hand is on top, I'll go to the right direction. So it just swings out and back. So we'll just do one side for 10 and then the other side. So I'm doing right side first, hand out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And of course, again, this isn't a back fist, even though it's a back hand. It doesn't snap. It pulls all the way through. Okay? And if you use this on the pads, you know how powerful this is. Put the left hand on top if you were going to the left now. Remember the pivots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's switch to the side. Let's pin the right hand on the inside and let's just let this heel lift up and pull and really focus on this motion. Okay, I catch myself always too many years sparring. So every outward motion also has a motion coming back. So I want you to hit, and then pull it back. So 1, 2, and then set your stance. Okay, so 2 strikes for one movement. 1, 2, and it's all in your pivot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And shake it out. Now you can move your legs a little bit. Stretch them down, loosen the lower back. Take a second. Think about when you do a smooth, nice movement in the knees. It works smoothly together. I think I always use the analogy of gears, because I had one of my first vehicles when I was growing up was a motorcycle, and the third gear had some broken teeth. So if you hit it just right, no problem. If you didn't, it goes. So we want to smoothly move in there. Okay, and that's everything has to move together. The pivot. Now you might have a different sequence because of the way your body is. In order to find that smoothness or get that combative nature, okay, so the smoothness, if it stops and you have to adjust, you've lost that flow and that energy. You might have to just pick your foot up a little bit and you get the same effect. And for each person that trains, and as they age in the art and they get wiser, they should develop their own style of that, and they should experiment a little bit. Not to have their secret style, even though it might become that, but to make sure that their body is not wearing out. Okay, that it's actually, you're not forcing it to do something it doesn't want to do. But you also have to understand that a lot of times we won't go a little further than we should because of the fear of doing that. So you need to know when you are wimping out or when you're protecting your body. So why don't you grab a stick or two. Grab 2 sticks. Let's just do some fluidity training with the stick. And it's just another thing, same thing. Anytime you're trying to force something, anybody who's worked on a car and they try to force something ends up with bloody knuckles, right? We've all done that before. Yep, crotch. I can get this wrench in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the basic drill, which is getting the left and the right hands sequenced and getting the right-left hemisphere of the brain working. So we'll go 1, 2, chambers, we step back. 1, 2, chambers, we step back. And this isn't a race or anything, just flow through it. Just don't stop those sticks. You don't have to worry about anything other than flow right now. You want to get the timing and the sequence. That will all start to happen as soon as your brain gets both sides. This is a great drill, by the way, to start your training with. Not your stick training, just your training. And so is crossing your arms. I mean, we do all this anyways, but we just don't have a stick in our hand. But anytime you cross your center line, you activate both sides of the brain, which is a good thing to have in combat, I think, as long as you're not over analytical about it. Temple, temple, temple. On your own, you can change this to a low strike, a low strike, a low strike, a low strike, or you can go back to high. Just get the flow going. I remember yesterday, or the day before, I guess, we talked about making a half a strike and a half a beat, and how you can use that to speed you up by starting your other hand at the halfway point of the other one by basically taking a half a beat off the movement, and then eventually taking one motion and making it, or three motions and making it two, and then making it 1.5. And there's nothing wrong with, once you get some basics down, to start experimenting a little bit and doing different steps. Don't really worry too much about doing it wrong, unless you just do it so much that you can't be changed. But if you're free flowing, or say shadow boxing, you're not going to do so much repetition that a mistake will harm you. And what you're really trying to do is just get familiar with where that stick is or where the weapon is. When I do these, I always like to have a target. I have good visual targets because I've trained for so long and I can pair it up so much. But I like to have the heavy bag on this one, not for hard hits, but to make sure that my extension is fine. Every once in a while I'll be just swinging at the bag and I'll come across and miss the first throw, or hit my own sticks like that. And that's a cue for me to slow down and feel the motions. And I'll just do a couple more, and then we'll switch to some other basic motions that we did on Monday, kind of as a review. And time. Okay, so we know the, twirling your sticks, working on your grip, not letting the stick sort of swing around to get a little extra speed, to look cool about it, but to actually have a strike and a strike, a strike and a strike, opposed to this thing where you look like you're going really fast. That's good for demos, not so good for training. Then you can just switch it and go up and down, a little wrist work. It's always the simple ones that we learn and we do that we forget to practice because we think we have them. And then somebody asks you about it and you're like, huh? What? I taught you that? That's when the movements are all really right deep down subconscious. That's actually not a bad thing if you're a higher belt. It just means your subconscious is taking care of that part of your training, unless you truly don't remember it. You can go a little bit faster. I like to keep my elbows in and work the forearms on this. In this exercise, I like to use a little heavier stick, maybe even a little wider one, since I'm working on grip. But I don't have those here at my house, so I just have to end up doing a couple more 100 of these. Okay, put one stick away. And we worked on sidestepping and the hooking here, getting to there. And we worked on pulling up on the 4, and I don't think we did the 5th one, right? So working flows, the benefit is, of course, being able to flow. The problem is that sometimes if we are just practicing a drill or with a stick, and we're not too sure, we end up just doing what we think we're supposed to be doing. So I always like to break it down and making sure I'm at least, I always say that when you have a question about the art and you don't have somebody, well, you guys got me, you can just always call me, but if you don't have somebody to answer the question, choosing not to train is the wrong answer. Okay, so what I do is I say, okay, bring it back to self-defense. As long as I'm hitting a target or doing something, that will usually answer the question. Even if it's wrong, at least I'm hitting, right? I'm striking, I'm attacking. And then instead of saying, oh, I just don't know what angle to do, so I'm just not going to do this exercise. So this one, he's directly in front of you. I'm going to take the end of it, and I'm going to not poke him. I'm going to slash him. I'm going to pull it all the way up, and I want to be facing that way, but I want the strength to come that way. The habit that we get into sometimes is turning too much and then hitting this guy, which is fine if that's where he's at. But remember, break it down. Today he's over there. So reach for him and swing hard. These should be done extremely hard, but as I know each one of you has a computer or a TV right in front of you, either maybe mellow out for now, okay? I got a camera and a TV in front of me. Here we go. Ready? 1, hit. And you come back. Okay, so I'm going to hit. When I come back, I'm just going to pull it back kind of gently. I'm not doing number 2 yet. I just want to come back with a purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we'll go back. 1, 2, and then back. So forward cut, forward cut. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you have the uppercuts, which I just looked at the clock, we're a little bit out of time. If you want to get fast with the stick, just like weight training, you put a little extra weight on the weight and you grow, and you just keep going every day. You don't skip. So if this is your speed, you just think, God, I wish I'd be quicker. By going quicker won't make you quicker, but by doing more of these, you'll start to get quicker. If you are stuck, if you do get stuck, you need to go to a heavier stick. Okay, or use a different type of equipment, okay? Something that's longer, shorter, just change it up. So you guys know that we've done this one, and then I would often go to the knife. That's a total, you know, so you're like poking yourself in the head or something because you're like, wow, I didn't know I was so quick. I always look at the stick training as a way of speeding up my knife work, because in the past, that's exactly what's happened. I've practiced with the stick, and then I pull the knife out, and my knife is quicker even though I don't practice with it. So I love the stick for that reason. Okay, let's put it back and let's get about out. Maybe next time I'll warm up with, we'll do a little longer. That was not long enough with the stick. Okay, there you go. Have a great evening, and if you practice and work out, maybe start with the stick, because that was 5 to 10 minutes, not enough. Here we go. Pass, up, hey! Okay, thank you guys.